Hi everyone, thanks for tuning into today's video. I'm so glad to see you here. Today I'm going to talk more about sort of the years that followed after my brother's death. In all the previous videos I talked about some of the things that I wrestled with. Those things never fully went away. They came off and on throughout the time, and it was something that I continually had to wrestle. And one of those occasions was when I saw other people, like brothers and sisters, fighting. And I'm not talking about the little children that, argue over whose toy it is or something, petty like that. I'm talking about full-grown adults, and some of the clashes that we have, the times when we fight with, one another over things that hurt us. Sometimes it hurts us deeply, and people often have a hard time getting over some of these things, and for that reason it causes them to just avoid the person altogether, avoid talking to them, and any number of things can drive a wedge in between people, especially siblings. We love each other so much. Whenever it hurts more than somebody that's outside that circle. So it's totally understandable, but at the same time, whenever I saw people fighting each other, it made me kind of upset, and I became angry and bitter. I was already fighting those things before, but I started becoming envious when I saw two sisters fighting or two brothers. I would dream of a time when I could, I don't want to say fight with my brother again, because that's not what I would want. I dream of a day when I would be able to, spend more time with him and let go of all the things that I have come to regret. I enjoy reading scripture and trying to learn from the wisdom that it offers. And there's a particular verse that comes to mind. I can't say it verbatim, but there's a thought that runs through my mind when the person is getting ready to give their offering. It says about, if you have something against your brother or sister, then go leave your gift right where you're at and run and make things right with them. And I thought that was so beautiful, because how true is it? Something can happen as easy as an accident, and you think you have all the time in the world to make things right with people, but you may not. That's the downside. You may not have all this time. So it almost shows me a priority, hey, stop what you're doing, leave everything and go make things right, because you don't always have time for it. And I think it's so important that you do that, and I wish that I could have done it sooner. I just thought I'd share that. Whenever I came across some of these people, I ended up opening up my heart a little bit and sharing my story. And I wanted them to not necessarily know my pain, because I wouldn't want anyone to have to go through this, but I wanted them to at least feel it a little bit, because when I think about my brother, I think about what I would do right now to be able to spend more time with him. These are opportunities that I won't get on this side of life, and sometimes I think about what I would do if given the opportunity. I think about what I would give, and if only for a month, or if I had a year, what all kinds of things would I go back and do with my brother if I was suddenly given a choice. And I think I would trade everything I have. I would sell it all, and I would go places, travel the world with him. I would give up everything just to have that precious time with him again. So I ended up sharing some of this with other people who had siblings, and I pretty much pleaded with them to make it right with your brother or sister, you know. You're not guaranteed anything in life. It doesn't just affect siblings. It can be a parent, a grandparent, aunts and uncles. Anyone can be affected, and we have this tendency to look at life and think of it as, you know, this never-ending experience. And the truth is, it is ending, and so many things can happen along the way, and that often shapes who we become in the process. But I'm urging everyone out there, if you have a problem with your loved one, then take it to them. You know, just the two of you. You have to work through whatever calamity you find yourself faced with. You have to work together and figure it out. And you don't want to spend the rest of your life regretting all the stupid things that you were fighting about, because life is precious. If there's one thing I can say that I've learned more than anything in this experience of my brother dying, is that life is precious, and for that reason we must treasure it and cherish it. And when you don't focus on it like you should, you'll let other stuff cloud your mind, and you'll let things take over your life as a priority over these things that really matter. And family is one of them that we take for granted all the time. And I've pretty much, by this stage of my life, I've lost all my grandparents. They've all passed on. Part of the experience I've had after my brother's death was taking a real hard look at all my family relationships, you know, to those that were close to me. At any moment, any number of things can happen, and everything can literally change in a second. And I don't want anyone out there to be on the wrong end of that. I want you to enjoy every minute that you can with your loved ones, because it's a gift to have somebody in your life who you can love and adore. And as painful as it is, you know, after they disappear, it is totally worth it to have them in your life. This is why it is so important to do everything in your power to maintain a good relationship with them. See them for the treasure that they are. Value these relationships by making them a priority in your life. Love them. Sometimes that unconditional love is going to hurt, and it's going to be painful, and you're not going to like it. But love them anyway. Love them through it. Love them through all the bad, until there's more good than bad. Sometimes it takes time to get over this, but love them in spite of themselves. Love them in spite of how you feel, because it's worth it in the end. So make things right with your loved one today, and I pray that the best between the two of you in the years to come. That's all for now. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care, everybody.